All right, traders, George here, and what a Thursday. Time for what I usually call the trade of the week, but I'm going to call this the trades of the week, and it all has to do with the S&P emini here. Last week I highlighted gold. We had a great move up to the second target zone, and you can see what's happened since, abandoning those 1280s, gold selling off in a big way. So hitting a key resonance zone and then down it went. Well, the trade that we were looking at last week was essentially being long gold. What I want to show you here are a few things for the S&P emini. For starters, today in the live room we had broken into new lows, and what I directed you to do was to focus on being long and to watch for price to cross back over 1985 in the S&P. That correlates with this balance beam off here to the left, and the call that I made in the room was that if we can get over 85s, which is, we were down here when I made that call, we're very likely going to at least move up to the round number of 2000, if not revisit the 2020 level. So there on this relatively large chart here, a 120-minute chart here, you can see that this heavy commitment zone here offering the support to boost price back up. And obviously we know what happened today. Price moved in favor very well. But let me take you back to the last couple calls, because this is one of the reasons why it's important to be in the live room, for the direction you get when I show you these setups so that you can watch for them if they're happening outside of the time we're in the room together. And for the S&P, there were basically three scenarios that I showed. One was a very similar scenario as to what we saw at 85s, was to see price break back over 2020 here, and that put price back up to the 2037 handle. 16 points in favor there, maximum favorable. The next one was to watch for a breakdown below this ellipse right here. That went 13 points in favor. And then following through the same thing all over again, we went about 11 points and counting in favor here. So we had two nice long directional calls in the room, one short directional call here. Obviously this is happening later in the day. And then this morning in the room, as we broke to new lows here, we went over to the balance beam chart, looked at how important that level of 85 was, and here on this chart here you can see that the fib candles have gone white, the fib dots have turned green, and that launches this killer impulse here. And this was the main zone to look at in terms of trading commitment, all the way back up to the 2020s, which was the key trigger to be long 2 times over here. Now we're anticipating resistance here, and I'm actually short 2 on this double top here. We're trading just below that spike right now. Won't hold a break to new highs here, but that was the call, and there's the follow through. 32 points from 85s up to 17s there. So 4 directional calls made in advance in the room over the last couple of days, with huge follow through on all of them, especially the one today. The belief building you get from that should be immense. If you were in the room, you heard what I said, see the follow through of price. That's always a strong belief builder. That gets you focused on trading what you see and not what you feel, what you think, or what you hear. And that's what 99% of the traders out there are doing. They're shorting these rallies, they're buying the sell-offs, they're shorting the rallies, and they're getting their teeth kicked in. They're not following anything if-then based around what they see. They simply are not doing that. Come up with repeatable visual occurrences that drive your rule set. That way you can have repeatability and a rule set that you can then tune to find some expectancy. As you continue to do it with repetition, relentless pursuit, that puts you in control. That puts you as the constant, and the market becomes the variable. Nice reverse Monte Carlo setup there. And that's what drives the expectancy, is being able to keep doing the same thing over and over again. Don't care what it says in the news, don't care about fundamentals, just care about if-then based around price. The orange rectangle, we talked about that earlier. What are your plans when price does X? One of the best questions you can ask yourself. Or what does the rule set need me to do? Okay, most traders are going to say they're allowed to do whatever I want, whenever I want, and most traders are not doing so well. So 4 really nice moves there in the S&P over the last couple of days. All talked about them in advance before they happened. Congrats to all of you that were able to participate in those moves. That's got to feel good after maybe not being a part of them, and maybe going against what you might have thought otherwise, and simply trading what we see. Okay, makes a big difference and can really sort of liberate your mind to just be more relaxed and just execute what you're supposed to do. What does the rule set need you to do? That eternal question there for traders. All right, gang, that'll do it. We'll see you, DST clients. We'll see you back in the live room tomorrow morning for training.